With the muffler, Ryan Bruckner. I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan, and this is my intro. Welcome to a Dark Carnival installment of Squared Circle Cinema.
We're going to call it a Dark Carnival installment, really?
We're going to call this a horrorcore edition on this beautiful...
This is horrorcore?
On this beautiful, balmy summer day on a Saturday in the Pomona Valley. You're right. You know what? Because I paused because I'm peering to your backyard, right?
Uh-huh.
We're kind of on location because we're in your back bedroom. Typically, we don't record.
Oh, you're looking at where I disembodied you.
No, I wasn't going to go there, but we did film an amazing scene. It was a very painful, very memorable day for me. Check it out in the archives. My girl's out there today, right? We're in your bedroom, peering through, and she is just going gaga over your backyard. I was keeping an eye on her, making sure she's okay. Like
she's out there right now?
She's like, is that a squash? Is that cucumber? Tomatoes? Like, she's losing her mind back there, man. So you got to tell her, you got to point. I'm like complimentary because I took her out and back, right? I took that broad out back, right? I'm like, hey, check out the garden, and feel free to compliment Ryan if you want. Didn't have to tell her that. She's just like, oh my God, like she is transfixed. She's transported into your garden. My words don't do your garden justice, man. And you know what else? Front yard. You know what she said? This reminds me of El Paso.
Oh.
Yeah. What a better compliment is that?
Was she affected by the recent shootings?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So apparently El Paso is a huge city, though, and it was the opposite side. So thank God, no one was injured or, murdered, But yeah, we were watching it on the telly.
I should have pulled the covers off the furniture back there. She could have, then she could still lay down in the hammock if she wants.
Oh, that was what I left with. So I introduced her to your backyard, and then you peered into the distance. It's obstructed by the corner of the house, right? So you just, peek your head a little further. Hammock. I said hammock. So I let her discover it with my words. He got that at the hammock district. Okay, speaking of back doors, I want to talk about your front door. Like, as we were recording, you picked up a pamphlet or something like that.
I mean, I get Jehovah's Witnesses all the time, so I just open this pamphlet.
But the way you reacted to it was like, whoa, there's something special about this pamphlet.
The pamphlet says, what is the kingdom of God? It's like you have to have gotten these.
Yeah,
I feel
your
like,
typical
I don't
artwork
know,
all the time.
Is it me, or is it like L.A. County? Way more Jehovah's Witnesses than maybe anywhere in the world. I'd love to see statistics on this.
Oh, my goodness.
Because I grew up, my early years in L.A. County, and I remember these Jehovah's Witnesses.
Totally.
Then I moved to Orange County and also San Bernardino County for some time.
You get them, but
didn't get any
much
really.
more infrequently.
Not as many as here, and I get them here.
The city of Orange and the city of Villa Park, there was a pretty high rate of weekend Jehovah's Witnesses, riding up. But in L.A., in my apartment building, they get in. I get knocks on my door.
How do they get in?
They get in. I open the door. It's like, oh my God, I thought I left my pilot light off or something, or on. So yeah, I think you're right.
Well, there's different
but
sections.
I will say
what
about
the Bible says.
If I can say something real quick about Jehovah's Witnesses, though, that get into my building. Surprising, they're very less abrasive when I open the door. They're just like, oh yeah, we wanted to, no thanks. And then they say, okay. I don't have to put up a fight or anything.
Yeah, I
wonder if their quota is just knocks on the doors. Just get to doors. If they let you in, that's weird. Just get to doors. You know what I mean?
One day I think I want to let them in. Did you ever see that Robin Williams bit where
sure
he answers the door naked? They're like, have you found Jesus?
Oh.
You want to follow me back here and help me find him?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, just drunk on whiskey. You're like, yeah, this could be a riot.
Or I could end up murdered.
Yeah, or a diet. All right. So, but, oh my gosh, you just dropped a handwritten letter from that pamphlet. Holy, that came out
Yeah.
of the pamphlet?
So anyway,
Wait, let me see the
there's-
pamphlet again.
this
That's your
is-
traditional,
it's a general pamphlet.
similar
There's different
artwork.
sections.
Yeah.
What the Bible
Yeah.
says.
This
Can
is
we really believe
Jehovah's Witness pamphlet
what
101.
the Bible says?
Right.
What that can mean for you?
Green background
Think
on green
about it.
text.
To learn more without a cost?
A lot of greens.
So within this pamphlet, there's a handwritten letter. And I saw it, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to look at it.
Wow.
I'm going to read it on the air.
Oh, my God. Can I just see what the penmanship looks like briefly?
It's pretty good. A woman wrote
Yeah,
this.
that is
There's
a
no
woman.
way a man wrote this.
Nope. Yep.
Dear
That
neighbor.
that looks like a girl you knew in high school signing your yearbook.
Yeah, this girl sat next to me in 7th grade and
Yep.
passed me notes.
Right. She's definitely hearted the dot on the I.
Did you ever get notes passed to you
No.
in like junior high?
Never.
Oh, I got like
You got notes from girls?
we were note passing. Even like guys were passing notes, girls were passing notes, but the girls like put a lot of thought into their notes. Like they went to the Sanrio shop and like gave you like nice custom notes.
Fuck.
We
I've
were
never
like note
swear jar.
passing fools.
I've never passed nor received a note. Oh, wait. I was a part of a joke, though, once. So, someone in my coordinated science class passed a note to a girl that I sat next to, and he said, Mike wanted me to give you this. I passed the note, and it's like, I've always loved you. I just wanted you to know. I just don't have the courage to say it. And then she turned to me like, Mike? What? It's like, what? What's going on? Like it was a total prank. So the only time... that just...
Oh,
Note passing just set up
You were-
spawned a crazy traumatic memory,
you were
man.
bullied.
You were
You
just
were
passing
bullied
notes like one of
by
the cool
this-
kids, weren't you?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
we're passing notes. You got a note from a girl? You're kidding me.
I did.
I'm so envious
I
of that.
did.
That's amazing.
I had like a good 2-year streak.
All
and
right,
then it
what's
all
the
went
protocol
downhill
there?
when I went to
What's
an
the
all-boys
etiquette?
school.
What's the etiquette? You get a note from a girl, you got a note right back?
Well, you got to answer the note.
Right back?
Yeah. Well, like in this scenario back in like it started like in 7th grade, we were sitting we had a desk partner. So we would sit like our two desks
Yeah.
pushed together.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was me and this girl, and we were passing notes back and forth. Like
That was a
throughout
total
the
90s
class.
thing. Do you think classes are still doing that? 6th grade. You're putting the desks together. It's like, I got an idea. Let's communicate. Let's have them have a group.
Yeah, now you got phones.
It's a brilliant idea.
You got phones, but maybe now when they're like really cracking down on phones in schools, they're going back old school to the notes,
Right.
Post-its.
No, I was just saying the layout of the desks, like how interesting
Oh,
that is.
like,
Instead
group-
of rows
group
and grids,
dynamics?
you group dynamic it. And that's
know,
how
I
none of
think-
my high school classes were, but
Yeah.
my elementary school was. They're all group dynamic, and some junior high classes were.
Yeah, our high school classes were basically rows.
Yeah.
I can't even think of any that
6th
were group
grade, though,
dynamic.
you're like, okay, let's establish a core. Like, they're on their team. Like, I like that idea.
If I was a teacher, I would go
Groups.
group dynamic.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
gotta, like, split up the friends, right? Or do you keep the friends together? What do you think?
I would depend. It would depend on the friend. Is the friend?
Are they good friends
Do
together?
they create a disturbance,
Or do they create...
or will them?
Or they a comedic
Will they
duo?
be a good team together?
Love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would think about it like I was doing a fantasy football
Yeah,
draft.
cool.
It's that time of year. I'm gonna really like what's this quarterback gonna do for me? What's the longevity?
The autumn wind is a pirate.
Should I take a risk on this, rookie running back? Like a lot of people are saying, like we gotta draft this Henderson guy because Todd Gurley. Everybody's saying like his knee's arthritic. Motherfucker's 25. He's got arthritis in his knee. Damn.
Wow. Is that why he shut down last year and in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Ugh, poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't have that explosiveness.
He was always He was always in the top 10.
Yeah.
He's in the top 20,
So none of that
25
is
now.
none of that is mental. Then it's all just
It's all physical.
breaking down.
His knee.
Wow, poor guy.
Yeah.
Because I had. Oh my goodness, I had Todd Gurley. So 3 years ago now, right? maybe even
Yeah,
4.
we both had Todd Gurley that same year.
Crap
The year with Jeff Fisher.
The year with Jeff Fisher.
It's a horrible
and
year.
He averaged 40 yards, maybe like 1.2 per carry. He had he was scoring touchdowns. He had like maybe 12 touchdowns that year. Just appalling. And that was my number 1 pick. So it was my number 1 pick, so it's locked.
Me too.
So I couldn't get rid of him, and he single-handedly destroyed my fantasy team.
That was me last year with Leonard Fournette.
And then the year after, just like bam,
Yeah.
holy crap.
So I picked Leonard Fournette last year as my number 1
now
because
he's
the
deteriorating.
prior year he had a Todd Gurley
Right.
season where it was just volume. All they were doing, Blake Bortles couldn't pass. All they were doing was running the ball, give it to Fournette. Wow. And so he was tearing it up. So then I go and draft him. He doesn't do shit. He plays 3 games of the whole season. It was a travesty.
That's just crap luck, man. Isn't
Well-
it ironic? Don't you think? Okay, well, I have a question.
Well,
that begs a
I
question.
was going
though.
to read this letter.
Oh yeah, well,
We
can
got
I?
some
No, we're doing
completely
sports
sidetracked.
talk.
We
doing
got some completely
we're doing
sidetracked.
guy talk. All right.
We went from this letter to talking
Are you
about passing
drafting
notes.
Antonio Brown? That's the question I want to ask.
Hell no.
I'm
not taking a risk on him.
Physically,
Did you see his feet?
Oh my gosh! But he just
He went
wants
into
to
a-
get into practice, man. So
He went
bad.
into a cryo chamber without the right foot protection. Did you hear about that?
Oh, that's why.
He went to do cryotherapy and he didn't properly protect his feet. Probably
That's
went in there
why.
with flip-flops or some shit. And
Oh
he
my
got
God.
frostbite on his feet.
Yeah, because that wasn't built up calyx. That was that's 3rd-degree burn damage. That's why it happened.
Yeah.
Jeez. I was that's a lot of wear and tear there, man. He should put his feet up. So he can't be on his feet for a while now. And this is after he's coming off an injury. So this is a compounded injury. So he's got the foot thing now. That's going to take probably 3 weeks to heal.
I'm not going to take a risk on him. And I don't trust the Raiders or Derek Carr to do
What's
anything.
your favorite hockey team?
What?
We're talking sports. I was gonna transition from football to hockey, and then we'll get to baseball, and then we'll get to tennis, and then we'll get to men's
What about this
NASCAR.
Jehovah's Witness
Okay,
letter?
read the letter.
God damn it.
How the hell did we get to that?
Penguins. Dear neighbor, I live in your neighborhood.
Okay.
We have not been able to speak with you personally, but we have some important information that we want to share with you. Who's we? That's a little creepy.
And I have a question as well, because I didn't see that letter.
Because she started with I, then she said we.
Yeah, there's a tense issue. And I'm a little too tense listening to you read this. So here's the thing. That letter was not there when I arrived with Allie, okay? So
It was on the floor.
it was
you
on the
might
floor.
have missed it.
I didn't hear a knock. Did you hear a knock? I didn't hear a knock.
Yeah, I didn't hear a knock.
But unfortunately, yeah, she's okay. So she didn't want to communicate this with her voice.
We have some information that we want to share with you. A sample of it is contained in the enclosed tract.
Pamphlet. Tract? How do you spell tract?
Tract.
Let me look that up.
I mean, tract housing.
T. I thought she was referring to the pamphlet.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but I've never heard of a pamphlet referred to as a tract.
An area of indefinite extent, typically a large one. Yeah, tract of land, area, region. Huh. Maybe I think she meant pamphlet.
Yeah, I think she should study more and stop leaving notes on random people's houses.
Like pamphlet.
You're gonna use tract improperly and
Usage
then think you're gonna
tract.
you're gonna convince me to follow your religion?
Ooh, tract in literature. Oh, hold on. A tract is a literary work. And in the current usage, usually religious in nature, the notion of what it constitutes the tract has changed over time. Yeah, so it's a scroll.
So she's referring to this piece of shit pamphlet
Yeah, which is
as like a religious text?
I think she meant to say as he dumps it on the floor. Doesn't dump it, just
It's on
lets
my
it
bed.
drop.
It's on my bed.
Like a feather in Forrest Gump. It landed on the bed?
ceiling fan made it land on the bed.
Ah, that's a sign, bro.
Our work is not commercial.
God, give me a sign.
And is done in over 200 lands. We volunteer to help people learn the Bible's answers to such important questions as,
It makes me want to fart.
Why does God allow suffering? What is God's purpose for the earth? How can we make our family life happy? We engage in this activity because we are genuinely interested in our neighbors.
Did you say porpoise on Earth?
It is our hope that someday soon we will be able to talk to you personally. Please feel free to visit the official website of Jehovah's Witnesses at www.jw.org. Sincerely, Scribbly Lines.
Wow. All right. How many of those did she write this morning?
It's handwritten. So.
She's like, I have to do this. This is like an assignment. And I don't want to talk to anyone because I'm super type B. So I'm just going to write this note and 100 times this morning and punish myself and feel pain because that's what God wants from all of us is pain. I'm going to get carpal tunnel writing this goddamn note so that someone could read it on a podcast. This poor woman. You owe Scribbly an apology.
Maybe they get together in their center on a Friday night and they're just like, okay, let's just start handwriting our dear neighbor letters all night to get ready for tomorrow morning.
That's nice.
And then just stick them into their tracks.
Wow.
She said that she's going to teach us how to help families be happy. Maybe she could have been there last week when I went to the goddamn Sesame Street celebration in Van Nuys.
Don't make it too personal.
Let me tell you about this thing. So I was looking for.
You went all the way to Van Nuys?
I went to Van Nuys last Saturday. I left the house at 8:30 a.m. to get to Van Nuys.
Jesus Christ.
For the Sesame Street celebration. It's the 50th anniversary for Sesame Street, so they're doing a nationwide celebratory tour. On Twitter, like Big Bird was meeting with the Dodgers and Eric Garcetti, and
I've heard of it.
He met his like Mexican cousin that's like his name's like Cocorito or something. And he's like green and red.
Okay.
And he met him like in East LA.
Wow.
And so I was like, oh, we're going to see Big Bird. We're going to see Cocorito.
Cocorito.
It was a free event, but you
had to go to Van Nuys.
The volume was so big that you have to go on Eventbrite and you have to like reserve a time to go.
Okay.
And it says like there's going to be milk and cookies. There'll be a stage performance.
Wow.
And you'll have 1 hour.
Was Andy Kaufman going to be there?
You'll have 1 hour to experience the event. And I'm like, man, this is going to be great. Like, I've always wanted to see a Muppet in person. Like, I want to see the Puppeteers.
Owen would be stoked.
Yeah, I'm like, he's going to love this shit.
Yeah.
We watch Sesame Street
all the time. Every morning
day.
I'm here.
Every morning of his life.
Yeah.
Basically, since he's been 6 months old, he's watched Sesame Street.
Which is a great choice too.
Every morning,
like I love it. You know, when I sleep over, you know, when we have a slumber party, and you know, I wake up the next morning, it's like you got bright colors, you got great songs. Those songs are just so well composed, and it just like the energy in the room of a morning with a child there, with a baby just crawling around. It's like Sesame Street is the perfect combination to that.
Yeah,
just like, I mean, we're talking a steak and salt and pepper. Boom. Just
so I was I've been watching this shit. I was excited. I was hyped up. I'm like, this is great. I mean, how could a nonprofit like the Children's Television Workshop screw us over?
Okay, so
and boy did they.
Wow. All right, so they're already making their rounds. So these are basically pop-ups.
Yeah,
right?
like
so
in every major
was this at a
American
school
city.
in Van Nuys? I might have missed.
No, it was in a park. It was in a big regional park, a huge park. In Van Nuys. Didn't even know it existed.
And it was marketed like, wow, this is going to be incredible.
It's called Sesame Street Celebration.
That's unfortunate.
And so it's like a big regional park. Just tons of acreage. Like we didn't know exactly. Parking wasn't too bad because it was such a big park. Places to park.
Yeah.
We were just following wherever we saw parents and kids. We're like, wherever they're going, that's where we're going.
So far, that's perfect.
And so we see it.
It's a trust system.
We find it. They have like a very sophisticated check-in process.
Mm-hmm.
They checked us in for our times. We're waiting in line.
Yeah.
And it's this basically a fenced-off area that is probably, I don't know, the size of like this room plus my backyard plus the kitchen.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe
I'm not good with square feet, but that is the
square footage was, I think, probably either the size of
like
my property,
slightly bigger than my
or
apartment.
smaller than my property. It's
Like a 1-bedroom apartment.
no, it's bigger than that.
2-bedroom apartment.
Okay, maybe I'm underplaying it. It's probably the size of my property.
So
the fence line
small
around my
though, right?
property.
It
Small-
could be just in a thimble because you were expecting so much
I
more
mean,
grand.
small for hundreds of
I'm
parents
big-
and kids and
so
their kids.
My niece, right, had her birthday party last weekend, and it's at this bouncy trampoline thing in Buena Park, right? So
oh yes, Big Air.
Big
I've
Air.
been there,
you
plenty
go.
of times.
There you go, and it's awesome, and God, they were having a ball, and it's like
Isn't that shit tiring?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
You didn't jump?
No, I didn't jump.
Why?
I didn't want to.
What a piece of shit uncle you are. You're not gonna jump with the kids?
I was on a clock. Okay, there.
You were on a clock?
I was on a clock. All right.
What do you mean?
What I'm trying to say is that place seemed small to me, but like yet they had all the areas covered. They had the basketball thing, they had the joust thing and all that. So the kids were having a ball, but I was like, wow, this is
They
a
have
lot
the bull,
smaller.
the bull riding.
The bull riding thing, yeah, in the corner. And then but still there's the food area, with some video games and stuff. But I was like, wow, this is kind of small. Now, having said that size, when I say this is kind of small, that's the size of a warehouse, And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, this is actually pretty small. Like, it was still like the size of half a Target, I'd say. Like, it was huge, and I thought it was small. For it to be that size of just,
What was obscene to
just
me?
like a chicken coop.
What
kind
was
of
obscene to me
size.
is
In
we're
the middle of
surrounded by space.
land. Yeah,
it was,
and
it's not like
enclosed.
the space around it was crowded.
Whoa.
It's not like there were tons of like frisbee players and shit in the park.
Wow.
Desolate around it. Just expand the fence, and you're already going to improve the event. Because when we got in there, we're just crammed in there with kids. It's hot. It was 10:45, but
That's
the sun was
crazy.
beating down. Van Nuys, it was like 96 degrees at 10:45, and there was nothing. There was a stage. It was like Camp Krusty. There was a stage show. It wasn't the actual Muppets. It was a life-size Cookie Monster character, like you'd see at Disneyland. One of those characters.
gosh.
With the soundtrack playing and it like moving its body, pretending like it's talking. A life-size Elmo and Big Bird on a TV screen.
This is what he's saying.
Big
on his
Bird
way
on a
home from Van
goddamn
Nuys
TV
as Owen is crying his eyes out.
He
in the
didn't
back.
care. He didn't like it. I tried to even make him watch the show. He didn't pay attention to the show.
Dad, this is not
He was
working for
just
me.
running around like delirious from how hot it was.
Yeah.
There was like everything was branded. So it's like the Milk and Cookies booth sponsored by Lactaid. Go to the Waze maze.
Ooh.
It was sponsored by Waze, and it was just like a cheap ass hedge maze. And that was the only thing he actually liked.
Cheap ass hedge maze.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
It was, I mean, anybody could solve the maze. It was challenging to a 2-year-old.
You never get out of this maze. How did it compare to the maze at the Family Fun Center in Anaheim?
The Family Fun Center in Anaheim's way better. And then just like dumb photo, like Instagram photo op places. That's it. Drove all the way out there for that. We left early, and it was just so disappointing.
That's
I'm
sad.
just glad that he is young enough to not be disappointed by it. But man, am I
Whose fault is
disappointed in you. I would have gladly paid
Yeah.
to have like a better experience. I'd paid, $40, $50 a ticket
So sad.
to see the real Sesame Street characters.
Yeah, but how did they get away with using that name and that brand to
It
phone
was Sesame Street, and
Yeah.
they were just sponsored by Lactaid, Bank of America, Pampers.
Are you sure you got the right
Waze.
address?
Oh, I'm sure.
All right.
This was it.
Maybe it was like some rogue community theater that was just trying to mess with you.
Okay, and then
This
another
seems like torture. This
another
seems
weird
like-
thing happened. Another weird thing happened. So we're in line. Really nice couple behind us. They have like a maybe like 3-4-year-old daughter. And we kind of are like striking up a conversation with them a little bit, and the dad even like let us use his umbrella at a certain point because
Oh,
it was
gosh.
so hot while we
Wait,
were waiting in
was
line.
he locking eyes with you when he gave you his umbrella?
No, he was, he was being nice.
He glossed over the eyes. Perfect.
Yeah, no locking of eyes.
Nice.
And then my wife, who's always had a knack for being able to remember a face, but it's always like, we went to high school together. We never spoke, but I sat 2 rows behind you.
Okay.
She'd always recognize, like wherever we go, she sees somebody she knows, and then she tells them that she knows them, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
Really? Okay. How often does that happen?
All the time.
Whoa.
But this time was a new level.
Okay.
We're like standing in line with these people for maybe like a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're very familiar to the guy." And he's like, "Really?"
And you're like,
And she's like,
God damn it.
"Did you go to this Father John Misty
Oh,
show
and you're like,
last summer?"
Shut up.
And and the guy's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "We were sitting right next to you."
Really?
And he's like, "You're right. You guys had that picnic." And we were talking about how we were getting away from our kids. Could you
crazy.
imagine
She never
recognizing
forgets
a face from a concert you went to?
No, and because I've had interactions at the Hollywood Bowl as well, like with the next, with the next towel.
I could not believe it.
They became, like, hey, you want some of this joint? Yeah.
They became Facebook friends.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would remember Rick Martel from WrestleMania 31, and I am friends with him on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I recognize his package being smuggled in those Speedos any
He's
day.
like, yeah. Wait, this was in an elevator?
In an elevator?
Where were you guys when this all happened?
We were at the fucking park in Van Nuys.
Oh, okay. So it ended up being a pretty good day.
An elevator.
Hit it!
It's time for Mike's Match of the Month. Match of the Month. Match of the Month. I overeat at dinner when I skip lunch. Match of the Month.
Match of the month
You
took
didn't
place.
even start talking about the Angels.
What do you mean?
I like to interrupt you. You didn't give me a chance to interrupt you, and I'm really...
I don't always talk about the Angels.
I'll
man.
tell you something about the Angels.
The Angels
I
are on
went
a
to the
freaking 10-game losing streak right
I went
now.
to
I
the
don't always have to talk about the
Angels game against the Tigers.
Jeez, you just think I'm a one-trick
I mean,
pony,
I
don't you?
sent you that picture.
Yeah.
I swear to God, like, maybe this is like an Orange County MAGA thing. People were airdropping me racist memes with the N-word. Like,
Wait, how
while I was
so?
sitting
because
there.
you were
ever
like tapped
get-
into Twitter or something like
No,
that?
airdrop. Do you have your airdrop turned on your phone?
Yeah, but I
So,
only
like,
use
people can
airdrop for emails that are...
contacts or pictures.
All right.
Some random people were they airdropped me a picture that said "I see N-words," and they did. It was the actual word with the Patrick from SpongeBob like searching around.
Gosh.
And I was like, "What?"
Ew.
And there were black people sitting in front of me, and it's like, "What?" And I was looking around like, "Who the hell is doing this to me?"
Wow.
And like, what if people behind me,
Yeah,
like saw me like look
you.
at my
It's
phone?
like, yeah, I'm just responding to my friend
Yeah, it
who
was
just texted me.
It was like what?
What?
The hell?
You know what? I'm
it was
not...
like one of the most bizarre and just like offensive things that's happened to me in a while.
That's crazy. So,
Yeah.
but like, all right. So this seems like a social media kind of a thing. Like, why would you set yourself up to airdropping at a baseball game? Like, what is it exactly?
No,
What I
you
know
just, if you have it to accept airdrops, you can get
Okay.
airdropped. Like I've been.
Where does it go? It's on its own app.
No, it's like you look at like let's say you want to share a photo, you can airdrop it and be like whoever's in my vicinity that is accepting airdrops. So for instance, I've been to Disneyland
Okay,
before.
I got that.
And
'Cause
people
I
have
always
sent
considered
me
it to
random
be-
pictures.
Airdrop was when you email a document that's has too many too many pixels or whatever.
No,
So
that's
you're, like,
that's
sending-
Dropbox. AirDrop is an Apple thing, and it's like a thing where you can just like phone to phone send something quickly
to strangers.
You could send it to anybody that's accepting airdrops.
How big is the what's the proximity here?
I have no idea.
But
I'm
it's
pretty
like
sure
a
you have to
city?
be kind of close to them.
All right, so like
So
a block,
I'm sure they
a
were-
city block.
No, I'm pretty sure they were probably in my section.
Wow.
Because I'm sure they were referring to the people sitting in front of me who were like nice guys.
weird
They were
thing.
nice guys. Like they weren't causing any trouble or like being obnoxious. They were like sitting there
What
like
good
nicely
does-
watching the game. They were like being nice to Owen, who was like being a real pain in the ass.
The people that sent that airdrop?
No, the black people sitting in front of
well,
me.
of course. You don't that you don't need to explain that. Like,
no,
Jesus
but
Christ.
like
why would
yeah, why would they send that
Okay,
to me?
is there you get that from their Gmail or their profile or something like that? Like they have a screen name, they have like a
No, you just
profile
like
name?
you'll get a little vibration
what
on
good
your
does this do?
phone,
Why would anyone want to do this?
and then you'll see airdrop.
why?
Would you? And it'll say accept or decline, and I declined it, but I still saw what it was.
Wow, that's terrible.
So like you could airdrop people pictures of your dick or something.
Now that's fine.
that's-
like that
yeah,
would
that's
give
pretty
that would garner
normal.
a chuckle. Like if everyone in your aisle at the Angel Stadium saw your penis pic, that would be funny.
Unless some kid has their airdrops turned
That's
on, and
gross.
then that's like a sex crime.
But come on, man. It's not like your text was like, or your tweet was like all Angels fans, or it's like it's not an Orange County thing. It's not it might be an Orange County thing. There
Yeah,
are
it's an Orange County thing.
like Huntington Beach to this day. There is a huge population of skinheads. There is a lot of racism going on in beautiful Huntington Beach, and it's disgusting. Like you go to these punk rock shows, like just bump into skinhead. Like
There was a time I went to a Distillers and the Transplants concert at House of Blues Anaheim,
I feel like that would attract.
and there were all these skinheads, and at one point they all stood in a line and Heil Hitler together. It was weird.
Whoa.
It was scary. Match of the month.
You just have to laugh when you
So
witness
you
that,
know,
right?
I could have interrupted you with music, but instead
I interrupted
I
you.
interrupted you with racist tales.
No, oddly enough, ironically, you interrupted me with Angels baseball.
I did.
How about that?
Man, that's so meta.
Totally. Match of the month took place at the Palace of Auburn Hills in Auburn Hills, Michigan on August 30th, 1993. Just a shade under 24,000 were in attendance for SummerSlam 93. Ryan, would you like to run down the card?
No, I know Yokozuna and Lex Luger, right? Or am I
That's your
wrong
main
about
event.
that?
One of the
That's main
worst
event,
finishes
ends in a count out.
a Big Four main event history. That's the worst finish of all time.
It's
like-
because they thought Lex Luger was the guy, and then they get to SummerSlam and they're like,
Yeah,
this,
never mind.
This is not the guy.
So they wanted to expose him. Like a hero doesn't just wait. And a hero is knowledgeable, so he knows the rules of wrestling. So he knows that a title can't change hands on a count out, right? So, but he just decides to wait in the ring.
well, so
While
with
while this behemoth is outside. Were they trying to prove a point? Like, not only are you not the guy, you're going to look like an idiot in the finish of this match. 'Cause
funnily
he looked
enough,
like an idiot.
I've been really kind of learning a lot about this era lately because this was kind of around the steroid
Did
trial.
you say funnily enough?
Funny, Funnily, funnily.
You're thinking about funnel
Enough.
cake, right? 'Tis the season.
I don't like funnel cake.
We're going to the LA Fair, though, right?
Yeah, if you come
Okay.
with me on August 30th.
August 30th. Okay, I think we can make that happen.
It's a Friday night, I believe.
Yeah, driving with Allie, we're like, well, we're passing the fairgrounds. Do you think Ryan would want to go with us? Well, I'll tease it. Like, see, we'll see
I
what
love
he
the
says.
fair.
We'll see how he reacts. And I didn't even have to. You were like, so the LA Fair's coming up, and Allie just lit up. Like, all right, we're doing this.
I've told you how I love the fair, how I love going to
Oh, I'm not going.
look at the prized
No, you and Allie
the
and
prized
Cassie.
pigs. I love to look at all the livestock,
Mm-hmm.
and then I like to get some fresh milk, and then I like to go to the expo halls and look at people do demos of like non-stick pans. That's my thing.
What about the ShamWow?
ShamWow's pretty good too.
In that order?
Like whatever they've got going on, I want to see.
Yeah, I do. That is the best part about the Orange County Fair. There's a part in the center where you go inside and there's air conditioning and all the vendors are like,
Yeah.
get over here. Look at this. Look at this knife. It's crazy. And then there's also like a libertarian just
I gotta tell you,
trying to convert.
it's not as good.
Cool.
It's not as good as LA County Fair.
All right.
Sorry.
I've been to the LA County Fair before, but I was a wee lad. Owen Hart defeated Barry Horowitz. Nah, you don't want to go over the card.
I was trying to make a point, and then you started talking about the fair, because I said, funnily enough, I have been learning about this era. And so the thing is that at first they wanted Lex Luger to be the next Hulk Hogan. So that's why they did the Lex Express.
Right.
That's why they had him
And that was huge.
slam Yokozuna.
That was the event of the summer.
But like they tried to make it look huge, but it wasn't really huge. It was like
I'm telling you, man, I thought it was huge. Lex
You
Express,
thought it was
I
huge.
was into it. What did you
but
think?
like he
What
would
did you
show
think
up
about the
and
Lex
they would
Express?
I didn't like it.
Really? I was into it.
I didn't like it. I was like, they've got Bret Hart. I'd rather watch him.
Anytime wrestlers are pictured outside, love it.
But I kind of, even at that young age, I kind of saw through it. I was like, they're just trying to make him Hulk Hogan.
Okay, when he's body slamming Yokozuna on the 4th of July.
Yeah, I was like, they're making him
On the
Hulk Hogan.
USS
They don't
Missouri
have
or
Hulk
whatever.
Hogan, and now he's going to be Hulk Hogan.
But why didn't they follow through with giving him the belt at least?
Well,
they put all that effort
Here's
into
what
it.
I'm telling you is that they wanted to do it, but then the steroid trial happened, and so Vince is already thinking like, who's going to take over my company while I'm in jail?
Oh.
And so they hired on Jerry Jarrett to be like his successor. Well, you know Jerry Jarrett,
Of course.
and
this
he
isn't
is
about
the
me.
one that told like, according to a lot of people, he's the one that told him that you should, since the steroid trial is going on, take the emphasis off of big guys, take it off of bodies, take it
Yeah.
off of Hulk Hogan type of people, and feature your smaller guys, good wrestlers like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels,
Who are both on
And
steroids. A lot of steroids.
Bret Hart wasn't on a lot of steroids. He was an occasional user. I wouldn't say either of them were on a lot of steroids. They were definitely different than
I disagree.
Lex Luger.
Well, it takes a body type to be built as big as Hulk Hogan's and Lex Luger's. They were on as much steroids.
There's a big difference between the way
It's all about bone
Michaels,
density, man.
Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart looked compared to
Oh,
Lex
yeah.
Luger, and
Yeah,
it's a
that's true.
better look, and it doesn't draw all that attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also had that Royal Rumble where it was like who won
tie,
the Royal. It
94.
was the tie, and it was almost like a test, like who does the crowd like more, and the crowd liked Bret more.
Yeah, wow.
So I
Well-
mean, I wouldn't give Lex Luger the title anyway.
That's
Dude
the best.
sucks ass.
I love that finish. That's my favorite finish of any Royal Rumble. And it was all Bret, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
grabbed him, but the camera angle was perfect. Like, to this day. I mean, I don't know. Right? Whose
Yeah.
feet hit first? I don't know. Okay. Razor Ramon defeated Ted DiBiase. Let's see. This was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 match card. 2 of which featured Bret the Hitman Hart, aforementioned. Bret Hart defeated Doink the Clown and was defeated by Jerry the King Lawler via disqualification. Let's get into it. The schedule.
Did you write "Let's get into it" in all caps with 3
No,
exclamation
actually,
points?
it's just closing this paragraph. So I shouldn't have delivered it that extreme. I should have just been like, let's get into it.
compelling and rich.
Scheduled match was Bret versus Lawler. Okay, Jerry Lawler comes out with a comically big ice pack on his knee, which I really enjoyed.
I love that. I think the match itself was meh.
I
But
thought
the whole lead up and
lead
Bobby
up- the
Heenan's
lead up-
commentary
okay, I like-
made it good.
yes, I thought the match was great because I was like, God, Matt Bourne's a great big man. Like, he's just flopping around in the ring. My notes here are terrible because I was just kind of living in the moment rewatching this last night with my gal, okay? And she was compelled by the theater, right? She was horrified
She
by
told
Doink.
me like I had no idea what was going on, and Mike was just explaining it to me.
Right,
the
yeah. She
whole
was
time,
like, well,
and
I
he
mean, I'll
kept talking
find out. If,
throughout
I
it.
mean, I would be able to, connect the dots myself, but I can't hear what's going on because you're talking. It was that kind of stuff. But then I rewound it. She got it, though. She got it.
Why don't you just let her watch the damn
I
match?
was, but I was just like, because I hadn't seen it in decades since I explored it. Had you watched
Yeah,
that
I don't
recently?
think I've seen it since '93.
Yeah, so like I was compelled to talk because I remembered like really enjoying this, and I thought Matt Bourne was a great big man, just selling very well. I a great dance partner with Brett, but the theatrics, like this is just great theater, right? And Jerry Lawler's excuse, he comes out on crutches, so he has to appoint a jester, doink. And as soon as he came out, God, Allie was like, "Oh God, I don't like this." With the music, like she was horrified by Doink. Why would they ever?
He's got buckets.
Yeah,
he's got buckets.
And how satisfying was that when he just doused Bruce with water?
Oh yeah,
that was great.
I was surprised that Bruce wasn't wearing sunglasses.
Owen was great too, just cheering Brett on. So, but like his excuse, Jerry Lawler's excuse to get out of the match because he's a coward and a heel, was hysterical. It was like this scenario where they was in a car and this purple-haired lady
behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan at the beginning
Like
had
the
a
radio
line.
didn't work.
He had a line that made me laugh out loud. Like, you were admonishing me for watching this while I took a shower because I was underprepared.
That's true.
We were, you were in the bathroom with me. I was taking a shower. We were naked together.
A lot of that is just I just wanted to yell. That's all.
You said you should have watched this earlier, and I said, well, I'm going to watch it while I take a shower.
I didn't hear that part.
And I now continued scrubbing my back while I watched this.
Your back?
Yeah, because you're in the shower.
Do you
with
go
me.
back to toes or you go toes to back? Do you go down?
It's
up,
whatever you're
up,
doing because you're the one that's washing me while I'm in the shower.
No, I'm asking you so I know which you would prefer.
Oh, okay. I'd prefer you to start high and go low.
Oh, I was hoping I can go right at your toes, just nose right in your butt.
In my butt.
And then slowly go up.
Okay, I'm ready. So there was a line that made me laugh out loud in the shower.
From Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah, where he was talking about Stu Hart opening up a bottle of Muscatel and then stampeding on Helen Hart.
Oh man,
he's
throwing in these Canadian references.
He's like he opens up a bottle of Muscatel and then that's a real stampede on Helen.
A real Well, you.
And it's either like you could either take it as like he drinks and I love that he picked Muscatel because it's like. It's a liquor you don't hear about that often. It's a cheap.
Is that a Canadian?
I don't know if it's Canadian. I know it's
because
like
he said Stampede, so it's like he's going full Canadian.
I know
joke.
Muscatel's a
Doubling up.
cheap wine.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
There's two different dynamics. Sorry to interrupt, but like you would get that line, and then Gorilla would like engage, right? Oh,
we don't have Gorilla. We have
Vince. I know exactly. Well, you beats. What is that supposed to mean? And then it would be a conversation, right? Usually it's like a push pull, boom. Vince would ignore everything, right?
Yeah, he's a horrible straight man.
But that makes it really funny. Like it's two different brands of comedy. And I don't think it was intentional on Vince's part, but I kind of like the non-conversational thing where. Like where this heel can't perform because he, busted his lower body, and then he hits Brett from behind with his crutches. This heel commentator that has to support all the heels is like, it's a miracle. Oh my God. Like that's the perfect thing to say if you are just so far gone with nefarious ways that you believe everything the bad guys are doing. So you're like telling the world like, it's a miracle. Yeah, well, what? Like that's great, and it stands up even better where Vince just like pretends it never happened, like he didn't say anything. It's like, oh, what a maneuver! Right, back to the ring now. I like it.
I kind of like.
I think Vince
straight
and
man
Bobby
that will kind of push back a little.
Okay, well, there's obviously nothing better than Gorilla and Bobby.
But I think what was cool about that joke was you're either going to take it as like he drinks the Muscatel and then he beats his wife, or he drinks the Muscatel and gets really horny and like bangs his wife. But Muscatel's a type of wine from muscat grapes. The term is normally used in the United States to refer to a fortified wine made from these grapes rather than just any wine from these grapes. So it's a fortified wine. It's a wino wine. So it's like a low rent wine that, people are drinking out of paper bags and shit.
So you cook with it?
No, it's a fortified wine. So it's like wine with extra oomph in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a Mangria?
Yeah, but even lower rent than that.
Do they still make those? Those were pretty good. I remember one WrestleMania way back when you came over and brought a Mangria.
I think that was Was that like WrestleMania?
That was before
29?
31.
29, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let's drink it
At
right
your
now.
apartment.
Yeah. Like when I first moved in. Okay. So there's a parlay match here. Howard Finkel has to announce to the arena, like Jack Tunney whispers, like, pss, 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 pss. Jack Tunney has just informed me that, okay, Jerry Lawler's not injured. He put a lot of weight on his knees there to attack Brett. So if he doesn't wrestle Brett right now, he's going to be banned from the WWF for life. He could still wrestle in the territories, but this territory right here, banned for life if he doesn't fight Brett right now.
I miss a Jack Tunney type. I want somebody that's an authority figure that
that has
almost
to tell
never,
Howard Finkel
but we
what to
never
do.
See. We almost never see them.
Yeah.
That's better. But not the anonymous Raw GM. Just like some suit that we see their picture every now and again, and then the commentary team will say, like, I have word
He has
that
total
President
control.
Jack Tunney is declaring that this is going to happen.
And I bought it. I thought
That's what I want.
I thought Jack Tunney was the president of the World Wrestling Federation.
Our
as a
authority
kid.
figure should say as little as possible.
What's this move here? They were going old school, just brawling on each other, right? Two territory guys, right? We got Memphis, we got Calgary, just wailing on each other. They take the straps down. Vince said as well, like, they're going old school here. What does taking the straps down mean? Like, and they're just brawling each other. So Brett takes his straps down, right? And then Jerry takes his down. And then the rest of the match, what I'm thinking.
It's that you're kicking it up a notch.
You're kicking it up a notch,
like
right?
my titties are going to be flying and flopping around while
Flying
I'm
and
throwing
flopping.
these punches.
I think it's because Brett is communicating to Jerry that I'm going to go the heelish route on this finish.
You think so?
Yeah. I think
Well,
he takes the
that's-
straps down. It just like seeing him was different with the straps down. It was almost like I'm the bad guy now.
But that's like Lawler's move. Like
Taking the
Lawler's
straps down.
thing was like
would take the
that
straps,
was
yeah.
like when he was hulking up. That's like his Hulk up.
Okay.
So when he was hulking up, he'd take the strap down. So I think it was just more Brett, like, I'm stealing your move and you're taking the strap down. It's not going to work because I took my strap
Oh, it
downs
worked
first.
though. It was beautiful. It worked, which you haven't gotten there yet because you haven't even finished. So you haven't seen this since 1993, basically. It works, man. So it's worth a rewatch. It's also worth being prepared.
Well, what I'm saying
You know,
is that
this is the only
that
time I
Brett
gave you an
stealing-
exact. Like, I was perfect. I hit it right on the nose. I said between 1 and 2. What time do I show up? 1:30. Usually I'm late, and you're super prepared. Maybe you expected me to be late.
You're always
Ooh,
late.
interesting.
My house was a mess, and
you
I
were
didn't.
expecting me to show up at
I
like
didn't.
3 o'clock.
You were bringing your girlfriend to my home. I didn't want it to be in the state it was in.
Okay.
You son of a bitch.
That's very sweet of you. So Brett becomes a heel and in front of our eyes, but like he wasn't though. It's not like this is his WrestleMania 13 heel turn, but that's like terrible. Like he was punishing. He had the sharpshooter on Jerry Lawler for what felt like 15 minutes.
I think you're misunderstanding what I was saying.
Okay.
He took down the straps to say, I'm stealing your move, and if you were to do it, it wouldn't work because I did it first, is what I'm saying. So if
Yeah,
he was in a
I got
match with
that.
Hulk Hogan, he did the you
right.
before Hulk did and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but then it becomes breathtaking theater because they're just pummeling on each other, and the way Jerry Lawler reacted to that, if that was his intention, was beautiful, breathtaking, and then just that sharpshooter in the center of the ring. I wonder how they discussed that, or whose idea it was. Sounds like a Bret Hart idea.
This is before or after the Kiss My Foot match? I can't remember.
Okay,
the timeline.
that was King of the Ring. So that was before then, right?
No,
oh,
because-
that was King of the Ring in '94.
Yeah, so this
is before. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
before.
So they had a
Definitely.
long feud.
Yeah, they
King
did.
of the Ring to King of the Ring.
And he got
The
the
full
family
year.
involved. Oh my gosh.
I remember kind of
would
being
attack
disappointed
Stu and
back in
Helen.
the day that he was having to feud with Jerry Lawler because I kind of saw Jerry Lawler as lesser than. Like, I was like, he should be in a better spot than this. But
yeah.
you look back at it now.
I
and
kind of
it's-
agree, but
it's
they
a
had
pretty
really
good
cool
feud.
stipulations.
It's
Yeah,
a good
great
feud.
and just bringing in
But
Isaac Yankem, DDS.
When I was a kid, I didn't see Jerry Lawler as an imposing
yeah.
villain.
Yeah. Oh, he's that guy that shows up in tights at the Royal Rumble '93. Like, big deal.
It's almost like having a feud with Bobby Heenan.
Yeah,
you know?
and I had no idea about his history at that time.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
had no idea. I had no idea.
I didn't really even know until
I
they
didn't know
started
about-
giving the Andy Kaufman documentaries on
and
Comedy
this
Central.
was first. This was first. This came before that, so I really didn't know who he was. You know, he garnered more respect for me because of the Andy Kaufman things and the David Letterman things, but that was before, right? A couple years at least, I want to say. Great match, worth revisiting because it's just a fun. Like I wasn't jotting down notes. I'm just watching this with my girl here, and it's just a great 2-match parlay. I'm gonna say this is my 7th favorite SummerSlam segment of all time. Close it!
Hope that you've enjoyed the segment. Match of the month, match of the month. The tree outside's uprooted the pavement. Match of the month.
Can I say something about your match of the months?
Are you really asking? Like I have a choice?
No, you don't have a choice. You're always picking from the same era. It's all
Yeah.
from your childhood.
Oh, for sure.
Can we watch something different?
I don't want to.
I mean, like, it's the summer. We could watch, like, Bash at the Beach.
I'm trying to
We
get
could
you to
watch
come over
something-
and watch SummerSlam. You're like,
No, we could watch, like, old, like,
And then I
Great
said there's gonna be a
American
charcuterie
Bash,
tray,
an
and you're
old,
like-
Bash at the Beach, maybe something from, like, a different SummerSlam, like, from the Attitude Era or something. We got to keep watching stuff from, like, 93, 94, 95.
So you didn't hear me when I said close it? What are you trying to do? Tap into some sort of psyche or something like that? Big deal.
I'm just saying, let's watch a different type of match next time. Something that's unexpected.
Okay, well...
Like, I already know, like, what you're going to pick.
Okay, fine. Okay, in the fall, what do you think I'm going to pick? I'm going to go Halloween Havoc, of course. Of course.
You've been doing this for over a year. You've never done a Halloween Havoc.
That's because it's... What did I do last October, man? I did Doink versus the Berserker.
Yeah, you probably did some. Like, how many?
TL Hopper versus the Goon.
I mean, the first one was Bret
From
Hart.
Superstars.
The first one was Bret Hart
Holy
versus
shit.
Skinner.
What are these?
You're just like picking this era, and it's all
Yeah.
either Owen or Bret.
You know what the next one is, right? Papa Shango, Tito Santana, WrestleMania, freaking...
You gotta wait
WrestleMania
till
freaking 9,
WrestleMania.
man.
You gotta wait till WrestleMania
Because they
for
released
that
it on
one.
the network.
Yeah, but did you see that they redid the network and a whole bunch of stuff got taken away? I'm not sure if it's still on there anymore.
I am furious. God. I was like the whole night last night with Allie. I was just like, I hate this new format. Anyway, let's get into a new format on the podcast with film number 72 of 6,789. Forget I said that last episode. Big Money Rustlas starring ICP, Insane Clown Posse, and Scott Hall, and Jimmy Hart. And did I see Sabu at the gunfight at the end there?
I didn't see him in the IMDb page.
No. Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Dear God, man.
Okay.
I'm so glad that this was free on YouTube, because
Me
if
too.
I would have paid money for this, we wouldn't be doing this podcast because I'd be dead. I
Oh.
would have hung myself in the
That's
fucking
funny.
closet.
Okay, so you're putting this on Once Upon a Time in Dublin level.
That's how I was feeling last night. You should see my notes. They're short.
that's how
and
I
all it is just anger. Like,
Really?
it's just like lines and lines of anger.
Hey,
like one line
that's
just
funny.
says, "Why would they even bother?"
And you-
Question mark. That's all I
like
put.
no context, no reference.
Yeah.
That's funny
This
because
movie was so bad. It was watching what dumb people think is funny. This is what stupid people that
What'd you think of
have
the Dirty
very low
Sanchez?
IQs. He was the only good
he was
part.
he was pretty good.
That guy.
The
I
butter
looked that
churning
guy up.
scene was pretty good. That was pretty funny.
I looked that guy up and I was like, this guy must be a professional actor because he's the only person in this movie.
Yeah, he was the only one in the cast you couldn't click on his name.
Good.
You couldn't even click on his name.
He's just like involved with ICP shit. He's like in their crew.
Oh. Yeah, he was the best part. He was definitely the funniest component.
He was funny. But everything else I thought was bad.
I had this reaction as I started it, and I was like, God damn it.
All the sound effects?
And I was angry. Sound effects super goofy, and they didn't apply to what we were seeing. But I was also, part of me was like, hey, you know what? They're with their buddies, and they're having fun, with a lot of money. And I thought Shaggy 2 Dope was kind of cool. Parts. Like, I don't know. Like in the bloopers. Did you watch the blooper reel, man? Like, he was like, I am the head of Button Mop and all that shit. God, I can't remember my lines. I was like,
they should have just left that in the movie.
Yeah, and all that other
whatever
shit.
Their line was.
Yeah, like
and
that was funny.
I'll give you this: his lines about that smell that he smelled.
Yeah, inside, pretty funny.
In the
blooper
reel was way funnier than what they actually put in the movie.
Yeah, that's like something you'd see in like a gag reel and like Grumpy Old Men.
So why didn't they just use that shit?
Because a gag reel is a huge component of this kind of. People that don't get comedy love gag reels.
Most people
just
are
like
gonna,
me and you. What's the best part of Grumpy Old Men?
Not the gag reel.
Yeah, it is. The pew
No,
part's
it's
in the
not.
gag reel, and your favorite part is pew. No, that's in the movie.
That's in the movie. What's that smell?
Okay, fine, but you like the part where Chuck finally buried his boner. In the movie!
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but like, just like this movie, old guys throwing off like 7 different varieties, I kind of like a Pokya.
Well,
What's his name?
I think Violent J has got to be like Guy Fieri or the Smash Mouth guy in disguise, right?
No, because he's lost a lot of weight, and Guy Fieri is maintaining his weight.
Love seeing him in Hard Knocks, man.
Always a salesman. He's on camera. He's like, yeah, we're trying to set up a restaurant behind here. He's like, you got a camera? You got a producer? Hi, Guy Fieri. I got an idea.
It's my son Ryder.
It's a variation on nachos. All right.
I've been watching Guy's Grocery Games. I've been binging that shit.
Guy's
Something
Grocery
I never
Games?
watch. I watch it all the time now.
Guy's Grocery Games.
Yeah, it's his game show.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In a supermarket.
Is
And
it like
so,
supermarket sweeps?
Yeah, it's pretty much like supermarket sweep, but you have to cook the food that you get. And there's different challenges.
I don't like that part.
So like there's like a challenge where it's like you can only use the frozen food section.
Okay.
And you have to make something.
That's a great show.
Or you can only get 4 things in the whole store and you have to make something. Or you have to use coupons and be under budget.
They probably filmed that in Burbank.
And then at the end, they have a big supermarket sweep where it's like a scavenger hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And so each thing that you get is worth like $1,000. And so if you fill up your whole cart, you end up with like $20,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That sounds exciting.
It's a great show.
Is there carryover or just new contestants every
It's
episode?
new contestants every time, but then sometimes old
They'll have
favorites
return all stars.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God, I always wanted to go on supermarket sweeps as a kid. Yeah. And then you hear like that set just reeked. It's like the food was rotten.
Really?
If you hear it's like stories about contestants there, it's like, yeah, it wasn't nearly like what it looked on TV. Because I was just like, I would put my arm out and just like everything. Get in the cart. Oh my God. I wanted to do that so bad.
Do you remember when they used to do that at Toys R Us on Nickelodeon, where like kids?
Yeah,
won,
the
like,
kids
the
got
Toys R
to
Us?
choose, and they're like, some of them were like thinking, like, which game? Let's just pick both.
Yeah, get all of it. God damn it!
Get them all. You know what?
There
was some funny, like, well, I'll be a porcupine's dick hole. The lighting wasn't terrible.
That wasn't funny.
Sure.
Porcupine's dick hole.
All right. Was this worse than Once Upon a Time in Dublin? The answer's no.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But it was still bad, and I was upset while I was watching it.
This is the worst movie we've seen this year.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't been upset I'm watching something in a long time.
I was upset at first, and then I was just like, well, I don't want to be enraged and feel anger while I'm watching this. Because
I watched this
have to
last
watch
night.
So I made the best of it, kind of, and I was like, hey, you know what? They're all friends. Like
I
they paid money for a cool Western set in some back lot, in the Hollywood Hills or whatever.
I got to be honest with you. I was just in a bad state of mind last night.
I don't doubt it.
Yesterday,
I don't doubt it.
Yesterday, Mike, I shit my pants.
Oh,
I'm admitting that.
Wow. Really?
So like I worked I worked like kind of a longer day. I worked like from like 9 to 7. And I got home.
You were off your cycle.
I got home like around 8.
Mm-hmm.
I had picked up dinner, like I picked up like a roasted chicken and some sides, and I was just waiting for Cassie to get home.
Okay.
Feeding Dusty.
Yeah.
My stomach felt a little funny throughout the
tingly.
day, but I didn't poop.
Okay.
And then while I was getting Dusty's food ready, I started feeling it. And it was one of those things where it's like, it's
Whoa.
coming.
Yeah.
And so I was doing the little waddle,
dance.
to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things. I started pulling down my pants.
Oh, no.
And
Did it?
I shit right into my underwear as I was pulling my pants down.
Oh, you got so close.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's the last step.
Yeah. It was like, here I go.
That's the worst.
It was horrible. And I
do
threw
that
my
more
underwear away.
frequently. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Cassie came home, I was in the shower.
that
She
close,
didn't know where I
man.
was. She started like looking around the neighborhood for me. She did. She thought I was like at the neighbor's house because people were like on their porch.
Did you shit your pants again?
Yeah, and she called me and I was like, I was in the shower. And she was like, why are you in the shower? I was like, it was an emergency.
I need more than that.
She's like, why?
I'm asking questions.
Why is there
I'm
a
here
shower
asking questions.
emergency?
You're acting weird and you're sweating and you smell like shit.
Yeah. I pooped my pants.
It's like, just connect the dots yourself, okay?
And I had an upset stomach last night. So I was watching this, like, upset stomach, totally sober.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had a few drinks, I would have enjoyed it a little more. But I was
Angry.
upset.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Angry.
Yeah, you were in a bad place.
Like, but this is my like, looks
Just-
like shit, bad lighting. This is painful.
You're not even describing the part of the movie. Just
Why
like,
would
hate
they
it!
even bother?
Hate it! Shit
I
my
put
pants!
Once Upon a Time in Dublin feels.
And you're
Haven't-
just thinking like, am I always just going to shit my
I
pants
wrote,
now?
haven't they inflicted enough harm on society?
Old man Bruckner over here shits himself again.
I wrote-
Gets all ornery.
I feel embarrassed watching this. Okay, I wrote this.
You feel embarrassed. Oh, that was the most embarrassing. I shit myself that day, and this is the most embarrassing thing I've done. Watching this piece
If
of
I had
shit.
to tell people I watched this, I would be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I told them.
Yeah, you tell them to shit yourself. You got a story there.
Like if someone was like, "What'd you do last night?" I'd be like, "I shit,
shit
myself." And I watched Big Money Rustlers.
There's no story, and I watched Big Money Rustlers. Like, oh, how was it? It's not good.
Yeah.
But you shit yourself. What happened? Tell me everything.
What can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said about a urinary tract infection?
Oh yeah. Oh, they even go into UTI. Like they say that joke so many times.
Scott Hall. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, great performance. They gave him some lines. He was the narrator of sorts.
I have no doubt that he said, "Yeah, I'll do your movie, but I got to sit down the whole time.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to sit in a chair the entire time."
Kind of a one-trick pony, huh? He's doing his spooky move.
Yeah.
Not a good actor, but fit the role.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of confirms
he's
a
just
lot about
updating
like, Scott Hall
the population. Yeah. It strengthens your argument. It does.
He updates the population sign of mud butt.
Yeah,
mud bug.
I think we were supposed to think it's mud butt,
but it was
mud
bug.
bug.
Yeah, so every time someone gets killed, he takes a number off of the population sign. And I wrote my final line, my final zinger.
Yeah?
Waiting for the population sign to read 0. Because everyone dies. I want them all to die. I want this movie to be over. And I give it a 0.0.
Wow. Okay.
I gave Once Upon a Time in Dublin negative rating.
Right. Okay.
So there's that.
I'm going 7.5. You know?
7.5?
7.5, because all my pootie
You
made it into the bowl.
You said this is one of the You said this is one of the worst movies we've seen.
Wait,
this
what did
year.
I give E.T. again?
You said it was one of the worst we've seen this year.
Yeah, I know. I give it a 1.1.
Okay. What's your opinion on ICP, by the way?
Oh, well.
Did you ever like when they were with the oddities?
I always hated them, and now I'm kind of
How about when they were in wrestling with the oddities? That's when we were watching wrestling.
Yeah, Golga. Yeah, the oddities, I hated. I hated it. It just was like, that's Earthquake, you know? I don't like this gimmick. And I love luchador masks. Hated it. And, like, never, I couldn't tell you one name of their songs. They were at Woodstock 99. But, I kind of
they have a song called
you gotta
World.
respect them, right? I mean,
I remember that.
Geez, they have a huge following.
They're on the FBI list of like dangerous gangs.
That's part of the like Eminem tried to like boost his cred by inviting
beefing with them.
No, well, like he invited them to his release party, his album release party.
They had a beef though.
Right, I think they had the beef because of
the
that.
Detroit
because he was like,
rappers.
I don't know who you are. I didn't say I was going to go to that. And you're promoting ICP is going to be at your Slim Shady release party. Like that'll go anywhere, you know. And I think the beef spawned from that. I think they've squashed the beef now, though.
Do you remember when they were in WCW?
I remember WCW more so than WWF. I even had to like double check, like as I just totally glossed over that time with the oddities, kind of. Not really. I mean, I was watching every week, but that was the start of me just losing focus.
But that was like in the
that
prime
was in the peak
time.
of the Attitude
That was,
Era.
that was like 98, 99.
I was getting tired. I couldn't stay up. You know?
I was
Monday nights.
I'd never been like more enthusiastic about staying up
Yeah, I know.
until that time.
Yeah.
I
That's
actually watched do you ever watch that show on YouTube, Wrestling with Regret?
Yes.
They have the guy Brian Last has a whole ICP and wrestling episode. I watched that last night. I got a full refresher.
Right.
They had a feud with Mike Awesome when he was that 70s guy, where Mike Awesome slams Violent J on top of the Partridge Family bus. And Violent J just slides off the bus unprotected, takes like a horrible bump off the top of this giant school bus. So funny.
Whoa. What was the Adam Sandler movie where John C. Reilly? No, not John. Philip Seymour Hoffman takes a dive.
Oh,
onto a truck bed of mat. Like
that's
a bunch of
Punch
mattresses.
Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love.
But
and that was in the outtakes.
It's not the outtakes. It was in the special features
feature.
of
he
the
takes
DVD.
This crazy fall. He's playing his guitar, and then
It's not real.
Oh.
It was a stunt double for sure. You could see the cut. I'd have
to watch it again.
I've watched that over and over.
Yeah,
and over
it probably is. Why would I mean? This is
when
an
I
elite
first saw
actor.
it. It
you
was
thought it
like
was real?
my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I only saw it the first time I saw it. I need to watch it again.
It was so that was so good.
Funny. He's playing guitar on the roof, and then he hops onto a truck with 4 mattresses. He's a mattress salesman, right? He's a mattress guru, high as hell on coke, perpetually, and he jumps off the building onto this mattress. He biffs it, bounces onto the street, breaking the guitar.
That's pretty much exactly what happened to Violent J on that bump on the Partridge Family. Yeah, except there were no mattresses on the bus. So he took a bump on the bus, and then he took another face-first bump on the hard floor.
No fear. What is your opinion about them and as wrestlers in WCW versus WWF?
I'm kind of embarrassed to say
Or in general.
I sort of liked them at a certain point.
For the hardcore tag matches, they were like, say what you will about like Public Enemy, like, garbage matches, but they did some pretty extreme things. When you're watching a match with ICP, you're getting chairs, you're getting tables.
At that point, I was still kind of like
ladders.
I kind of liked new metal. It was like the beginnings of new metal.
Me
and
too.
I was like, maybe I like these guys.
I never
Maybe
considered listening to their music.
I bought one of their CDs.
You did?
I'll admit that
Wow.
too.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was like, these guys like wrestling and they're a band.
You know what I did? I purchased an album from Papa Roach, and I drove all the way to the Anaheim Hills Tower Records right around this time, and I was like, never again. I was like, I grew. I was like, this sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it their
It was
album?
the album that had
with
no.
the song we talked about
there
last
was a
time?
song that was featured in professional wrestling, oddly enough, Dead Cell. Remember that one? Dead Cell.
No.
So I got the album that song was featured on, and oh my God, the point when it got like the part like I was just waiting for track 9 to play, but the 8 songs beforehand, it's a long way from Villa Park to Anaheim Hills, right? Were just garbage to the point where the song I liked was on just exposed itself. I was just like, ugh, I don't even care about I fell for this. This is This is trash. This is trash music. And I was like, never again. So I think ICP maybe came along after that, and I was just like, nope, no.
No, because I think I bought my ICP album in like 97, 98.
Yeah.
And I think I grew up musically where I was like, enough of this nonsense, like 2000. 99, 2000.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah,
My timeline's a little off.
I do remember senior year of high school actually taking the ICP album and throwing it out of my Corolla Sport window. I chucked it out of the window.
Did you hit anything? Was there any
No,
oncoming
it was like
traffic?
it was at night. It was in Anaheim Hills. There was like nobody.
That's called
around.
traffic. That's called freeway obstruction, man. That's a felony.
It wasn't the freeway. It was
Oh.
like the suburban streets of
I
Anaheim
can't
Hills.
take it. You ripped
No,
it out.
I was just like,
Oh,
why do
so
I even
dramatic.
have this?
Was anyone in the car?
Fuck this seat. I was making a big show of it for
So,
other
A group of
friends.
peers.
Yeah,
Okay.
group
And they
of
were like,
friends.
oh, that's it.
I was like,
No
why do
more.
I'm embarrassed that I own this, and this is what I'm gonna do about it.
Yeah.
And I threw it out the window.
I kind of did the same thing with my System of a Down hat. You know? Because I had
I
this
wish
hat.
you were wearing that right now.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool hat. It was like a trucker hat, and I was just like, I kind of like the band, I guess. And God, so much shit from both Chris and Sean at the same time. I mean, Sean's much sweeter, you know. He's much more nice. But I was just like, God. And then I would go back and listen, and like, this is terrible. System of a Down sucks. And I'm like, I gotta get rid of this hat and forget and burn the evidence. A world where I like this band shouldn't exist.
There's more embarrassing things to like than System of a Down.
There's
to be
more
honest with
embarrassing
you.
things to like than Insane Clown Posse. I mean, it's
think
a
it gets-
violent culture. It's spawned a
That's-
lot of bad.
It's about as embarrassing as
Rage?
it gets. I don't know, man. What's more embarrassing than Insane Clown Posse to say that you're a fan of?
Fleetwood Mac.
I love Fleetwood Mac.
I don't know. I just was thinking of a band that you truly love, and that's the first one. Slumber only happens.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Players
slumber.
only love you.
All right, are we gonna go over our SummerSlam picks? Or we're gonna
Um,
wrap it up.
I'm not going to win over my SummerSlam picks.
Neither am I. I give it.
No, I think
any
we
fun
already gave
facts?
it your grade. Fun fact is that it cost like $1.5 million to make,
Sounds sounds high.
and it debuted at the
Wardrobe.
2011 Gathering of the Juggalos.
All right.
Do you remember when Tila Tequila performed at one of the Gathering of the Juggalos, and the Juggalos revolted, and they? There's videos of it on YouTube. You could watch this.
No, I did not.
They actually went into the porta potties, pulled out globs of shit from the porta potties, and threw it at her while she was on stage.
Whoa.
Look it up.
That's terrible.
That's what Juggalo-ism is all about.
There's a reason we
Would
watch the Green Day Woodstock 94 video more than that video.
Would you rather
Instead
be
of
a
mud.
Jehovah's Witness or a Juggalo?
Jehovah's Witness?
I'm gonna go with Juggalo.
Are you kidding me? But would you have to tattoo the clown makeup onto your face?
No.
Like that guy in
You go to work, you
Baskets?
wash it off.
You'd rather be a juggalo than a Jehovah's Witness? At least you're articulate. You have good penmanship when you're
Yeah,
a
but you have
Jehovah's
to
Witness.
go around on a Saturday bothering people? I could be a Juggalo.
Are you talking
and
about
sit at
juggalos
home and
or
smoke
Jehovah's
weed.
Witnesses? Yeah, that's true. Oh, so you would just you would wake up, put on the clown makeup, and then not go out? Just hang around?
Or I wouldn't, like, Juggalos don't put on their clown makeup to go to the store.
Did you watch season 1 of Baskets, or maybe it was season 2?
Nah, I kind of lost touch with Baskets.
There is a juggalo in that show that is just like so charming. You know, he's just like friendly, and he you know, it's a variety of a clown, so it's kind of not much of a stretch to cast a juggalo. But he was like so like present and sweet to the Baskets character. It's like a really profound character.
I'll watch Basket someday.
Yeah, I can't really explain. It's been a while since I watched it, but I remember like, oh wow, they have like a heart-to-heart, like, and he said something like really sweet, or he was like trying to train him to be a better clown or something like that, and it was like a nice scene.
I have Big Money Rustlers on the flick chart.
I'm still going with Jehovah's Witness though, definitely.
Three Ninjas or Big Money Rustlers.
Three Ninjas.
Yep. The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
I haven't seen it.
I saw back in the day.
I haven't seen it.
I'll
Can't
go with
answer.
Lion King 2.
Okay.
It was a direct-to-video release. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. There's a new variety. I'm kind of liking
I know.
this.
These are fresh.
Yeah.
These are fresh. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, one of my all-time favorite movies. In fact,
Love Alan Rickman in that.
Before we went into the theater, I don't know what we were talking about in your car before going to the theater.
Oh yeah, we had a mandate last 2 weeks ago to see
Once
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We had a
Spectacular
great time.
movie. And we were just sitting in your car. I was just like, could you imagine a world without Mel Brooks? Like, how hard would that suck? Like, we just started. I think it was this movie. Like, we both quoted, like, "Oh, you got to be a man to wear tights," or "How's my seams," or something like that. Just part
I think
of our.
you because I was talking about the toll roads, and then you said a toll is a toll and a roll is a roll.
That's right. Yeah, you were talking about. Oh, I was like, hey, Fast Track's a sticker now, huh? And then that got to a freaking 20-minute conversation where you're just talking about. Sometimes I take the 74.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes I take the 74.
And I was just like, you shut up. And then
You're the one that brought it
roll's
up.
a roll.
You son of a
And a toll
bitch.
is a toll. They were both like, God, what if? Because it could happen, right? What an alternate? Forget this Yesterday movie, whatever that garbage is. What about a universe without Mel Brooks?
Write it. Police Academy or Big Money Rustlers? The
Police
original
Academy
Police
4.
Academy? Is the first one.
All right.
Gutenberg.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Come on.
Charlie's Angels, 2000.
This one's tough for me, actually.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm picking Charlie's Angels.
I'm going Big Money.
But
Rustlers.
at least the first Charlie's Angels had Bill Murray in it.
Freaking flick charts really getting us this week.
The first one had Bill Murray in it,
Okay.
and then he got replaced by Bernie Mac.
And it's a better story and it's better filmmaking.
Charlie's Angels. There was the preview for the new Charlie's Angels.
Oh,
Remember? We were talking shit on that.
Every preview was crap. There's nothing coming out.
Attack of the Clones, Star Wars Episode 2, my least favorite Star Wars
I know,
movie.
but still, come on.
Yeah, I'm still picking
It's part of the
Attack
universe.
the Clones.
You can't, in good conscience.
Ooh, a movie I hate.
Oof.
The Boondock Saints.
Oh.
Still better than Big Money Rustlers.
I would go Big Money Rustlers. I hate this
Really?
movie, and I hate hearing people talk. Like when
I feel
people-
like back in the day you liked it.
Nope, not me. Not me. No. I can honestly say that. Because I hadn't seen it before, and then I saw the documentary about the filmmaker, and I was like, this guy's a freaking loser.
The documentary is great. It's one of the best documentaries ever made.
Such exposure of what a monster. Like, people are exposed sometimes. Like, you know who I really like right now? Derek Carr. Like, the way he's responding, speaking of, we spoke earlier about the Raiders, I want to say, Hard Knocks. And he just, he's very calm. And he's with some crazy egos on that team, and he's just like friendly. He's not like, I would lose my mind.
He bought everybody.
I'd be like, well, you shut up.
He
God,
brought
you're
everybody
annoying.
that dinner.
Yeah,
And the guy's like, I'm going to order the most expensive thing on the menu.
that guy needs to get punched.
Oh, that guy's such an ass.
And how did Derek Carr respond to that? He was just like,
like,
no,
"Do
it's
it,
pronounced
dude."
salmon. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just
No,
salmon.
but then he was like, never change.
Never change.
Never
Yeah,
change.
yeah, and then changing the subject. Yeah, it's
But
beautiful.
also, Derek Carr is a bad quarterback. I'm just going to say that.
He's still.
It's a team of losers. They're not going to do
I mean,
anything
he had
this year.
that just incredible year that ended with him breaking his leg, 3 years ago, and he never really recovered from that.
I'm going to pick Boondock Saints, although it pains me. It's still not as...
I would go Big
it's
Money
still
Rustlers,
better.
man.
Leprechaun Origins or Big Money Rustlers.
Big
Probably
Money-
the two worst movies
Big
we've seen
Money.
this year.
Okay, I take it back. Leprechaun Origins was worse.
I didn't
That's
give,
the worst movie we saw.
I didn't give Leprechaun Origins a 0.
Yeah, and they do have that pub scene that kind of made me want to go to Dublin and drink a pint of Guinness. So yeah, all right, Leprechaun Origins.
Maximum Conviction.
Or Maximum Conviction.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Maximum. Sorry. You don't sound like that, Ryan.
The Condemned 2.
And we hated Maximum Conviction.
The
we didn't hate
Condemned 2. We hated The Condemned 2.
Yep. Randy Orton, though, I'm into him. I think he's going over Kofi Kingston tomorrow at SummerSlam. I'm going Randy Orton. I'm going Condemned 2. What are you going?
I agree.
Okay.
Big Money Rustlas is 1,441 on our Flick chart.
In front of? Okay.
Come on.
Your computer literally turned off. Right after you said that, just...
I think we're going like way overtime anyway.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
You would think right.
Spending time with you in this hot bedroom.
It's not that bad.
It's okay. Yeah. Well, luckily, no earn. I think we had to, really earn. We had to earn it. And
Okay.
now we don't have to pick out of the urn.
Because we're doing
And we get to
Glory?
watch Glow
Yes!
Season 3.
Glow
I'm so
Season
excited.
3.
I'm so excited.
Good television. Good characters. Good writing. I can't wait to expose myself to content.
I'm Ryan the Muffler Bruckner saying, survey says one more for the bad guys.
And I'm Mike Big Tobacco. Ryan, you better get yourself some earthquake insurance. Hulk Hogan.